looks to me like we may be able to go back to our honest-to-goodness draft coverage.
To drafting real cards?
Yeah, drafting real cards.
The little cartwheels?
You are actually playing with my Black Lotus there, aren't you? So, so let's get back to it. Here's Alex Hayne. They're having another review period just to remind themselves what they drafted. I'm going to hand you back to Gabby Spartz and Louis Scott Vargas.
Alrighty. With that excitement by the wayside, well done, Rich. We've got Alex Hayne looking to edge into black-green ramp with potential splash Sheevan Fire. He also, due to that late Bloodstone Goblin, and see, here's one of the things that happens in draft is really late picks can actually shape your direction. It's not that Bloodstone Goblin's a great card, it's that getting it really late indicates if you end up in like the red-green kicker type ramp deck, you might get a couple late picks that will really help that deck to come together.
How good of a 2-drop it is in that deck?
It's solid. It's better than most of the 2-drops, and you don't really want to play very many 2-drops, but it actually does good work in that deck. So Alex has outs, like if he opens a Siege Gang Commander or, gets past or a Fight with Fire or a haphazard bombardment, he could easily end up being in red and either ditching the black or splashing the black. So I think that Alex has a couple different directions he can go, and where his first packs end up going from here will determine that. And, well...
All right, we're getting a look at the next pack. And you were just talking about how much he would like to see black removal. Well, look what we have here at the front.
Yeah, he's got...
Yeah, that Eviscerate, Cast Down.
And there's also
a Goblin Barrage, too.
Goblin Barrage and Guard of the Bloodflame and Caligo Skin Witch and Saproling Migration. There's a good chance
So there's a lot of options for him here.
And Alex, if I'm Alex right now, I'm looking to think, what will I wheel out of this pack? Because there's... with a Jousting Lance and a Sarah Disciple, there are cards for other people's decks, and he has a good chance of wheeling something powerful. I like taking the cast down.
Yeah, he is just slamming that cast down. I did see an interesting card in this pack. I want to know how your team was on it. Sylvan Awakening?
We think that card is not very good.
All right.
And so it just doesn't do enough. It takes too many lands in play to have an effect. So no, I'm not a big fan of that.
So he's pulling a Sapherd, a Yavimaya Sapherd to the front.
There's also
a Whisper.
And Whisper's more powerful, and having a Whisper, especially with a Windgrace Acolyte and a Verdant Force to go get, is really, really good. But Alex is really low on Saproling generation cards, so he could take the Whisper and hope to shore up his deck with Saprolings, or he could just take the safer pick and take the Sapherd now and end up with a more consistent deck.
The Sapherd is really solid. I guess that one question is, how good is Whisper in a non-Saproling deck?
It's playable, but mediocre.
It's more medium.
So Alex takes the safe pick.
He is going for the Sapherd. I like that pick. All right, so let's see what we have. Pick 3.
Whoa.
Oh, when Bolus's Clutches. This is not in his colors, but this card is so good.
I think you just snap Clutches here. And
yeah, he pulled it to the front immediately.
And it's not because I think Alex really wants to splash blue, but there's no other playables in this pack. There's no card in black and green that Alex would be happy to take right now. Maybe Broken Bond. But I think you just take Clutches and just see where things develop.
Sure. All right, since Bolus's Clutches is double blue, are you looking to just maybe go into blue and ditch one of our previous colors?
Yeah, I think that you just kind of keep the option open. Alex is probably like 10% to play in Bolus's Clutches.
Yeah.
But given the fact that none of the other cards were good,
that's a sign if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, it was worth taking that gamble.
So he's pulling the Mishra Self-Replicator to the front, and the Academy Journey Mage is looking a little bit better now since he's taken in Bolus's Clutches.
And that's the way he would get into blue, and one of the rewards for taking something like Skittering Surveyor. Look, and this is, I think, where passing that Steel Leaf Champion could come back to hurt him. I think that green is likely getting cut here, and now Alex has to decide between a blue card or Mishra Self-Replicator.
Yeah, and so he's going to go with a Self-Replicator. How much did you guys like the Self-Replicator? It feels like sometimes it just goes off, and then a bunch of other times it's just a 5-mana 2-tune. It's really underwhelming.
It's good in the right decks, but there's a lot. But I don't think that Alex is all that likely to even put it in his final deck here. It's a colorless card, but it requires a lot of support, and Alex has like a Skittering Surveyor and a Grun among cards that he would really like to play.
Yeah.
I do like Mammoth Spider a lot, though. Have this
Mammoth
above
Spider,
the Baloth.
He has a Memorial to Folly pulled to the front as well. Yeah, he's just going to go with the Spider.
The Memorial is really good, but Alex doesn't need late game power, which the Memorial provides, quite as much as he needs defense, which the Spider does a very good job of. Also, Alex could be moving away from black. We'll see. He's going to be playing that cast down in his final deck almost no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, he has the Surveyor, so it's very easy for him to splash it.
But
relatively, rather.
Yeah, and I would imagine no matter what, he is playing the cast down. He could end up in like a blue-green deck splashing cast down, depending on how things go.
Yeah, he's going to take Mammoth Spider number 2. Look at that big guy.
Oh, and the second Spider is very, very good still. Mammoth Spider is just a great card.
Yeah, Giant Spider all grown up.
5 seconds.
So a glider towards the front, an adventurous impulse.
And I still think I think the door is closing on Alex being blue. He saw 0 blue cards in pack 1. It doesn't seem open, and he just kind of got a random late or third or fourth pick Bolus's clutches in a pack with no other playables. Though he would have taken like a Yavimaya Saphrid over to clutches. There's just nothing there.
He is just going to go with an impulse and.
Ooh, here's where I love taking a Memorial. You just essentially an extra spell. So. I also like one of the things about the way this pack went is
Memorial to Unity, and he's slamming that.
Is that Alex took almost all just green cards, with the exception of the cast down and the clutches. So he's still pretty flexible going into the last pack.
Yeah.
He's base green. He's most likely to be black green, but you never know.
He does have a nice blue card here. There's a Deep Freeze on at the front of this pack.
The Mishra's Self-Replicator may push him towards Partick Wonder, but yeah, he ended up taking the Deep Freeze.
Partick Wanderer I found to be very unimpressive. It's just very expensive for not that great of an effect, so just historic matters there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the Whisper.
Whisper wielding is great for Alex.
Yeah, he came back around, and he took that so fast.
Yeah, not only did he take the Saphrid first, which is good with Whisper, he also has Mishra's Self-Replicator, so more historic cards are important. Wow, and the Broken Bond
The Broken Bond came around.
Because this was the pack with clutches that had no playables in it.
Yeah.
So this pack actually went pretty well for Alex, all things considered. I think given that late Whisper, the late Feral Abomination, which is a playable card.
Yeah, he's going to take the Feral Abomination.
Alex is most likely to be black-green, maybe splashing Sheevan Fire. There are a couple powerful blue cards that could pull him into blue. If he opens Tatiova or another Clutches, he could kind of shift his focus towards blue. But Alex is the most likely to be black-green here, splashing Sheevan Fire, or potentially splashing Clutches if he picks up like 2 copies of Grow from Ashes.
Yeah, it's just a little tough since Bolus's Clutches is double blue. And for those who were curious, this is Pack 2. We had a bit of an interruption there between Pack 1 and Pack 2, so we are heading into Pack 3. This is a review period after Pack 2.
Yeah, we just had to make room for that hilarious comedy bit.
5 seconds.
So
yeah, that Whisper wheeling was a really big game for him.
So Alex is still short on Saproling makers. He just has the one Saphrid, and then in terms of fodder for Whisper, he has like a Skittering Surveyor, maybe a Llanowar Scout there. But I think Alex is still in pretty good shape here. Adventurous Impulse and Memorial with Unity give him some extra gas. He has Verdant Force as a finisher, and Double Mammoth Spider is really good defensively for a deck that has good finishers.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Mammoth Spider. Especially because the green decks feel very vulnerable in the skies. And there's a lot of really good flyers.
Yeah, Mammoth Spider does a good job. It stops even like a kicked Academy Drake.
Yeah, it's nice. So how are you feeling about this deck of your Alex right now?
I like where Alex is at. I think that I would feel pretty good. Like, I also think Pack 3's green's going to be really open. And given the Dark Bargain with 3 cards left in the pack, that in Pack 1, the late Windgrace Acolyte, it feels like black may be open as well. So I think your colors are open. I think Alex has found a good seat for his colors. And you still have to hope to open well and hope that the packs are open in a charitable way towards your colors. But I do think that Alex is going to end up in a pretty good spot here.
All right, I think we're going to get a Pack 3.
Pick up your pack. You have 5 seconds.
All right.
Oh, well,
Whoa,
this is one of the
good reason to be in black.
Yeah, I would
recommend
opening Demon Lord Bells and Lock when you're in black.
Opening like a pro.
Oh, yeah. So Alex is going to slam Demon Lord Bells and Lock.
What is he looking to wheel? There's a Vicious Offering in this pack as well.
He's not going to wheel anything too relevant because the only card he really cares about is Vicious Offering, and that's not coming back around.
Yeah, no way.
But Demon Lord Bells and Lock first pick is insane. It's one of the best cards in the set. It is a huge flying threat, draws you a bunch of extra cards, is good with Whisper and Soul Salvage. It's just awesome.
But what a great pickup.
pt2 this morning. The round one has been posted. That is the backup with the black hammer white.
How many historic cards do you think he would need to make the Mission Self Replicator actually work in his deck?
He would want probably like 7 or 8, and I wouldn't even
He's not
count.
close to that right now.
No, he's not. I wouldn't really even count Demon Lord Belzenlock towards that total because you don't need to combo Demon Lord Belzenlock.
and Mission Self Replicator.
Right.
So he's pulling the Shivan Fire towards the front.
Yeah, Alex has a couple good options here. He's got Shivan Fire, Thallid Omnivore, and Llanowar Elves.
I do like the Thallid Omnivore a lot. The card's very impressive.
It is. I think Alex is late enough in the draft that he's not that hopeful about being a sapling deck. I wouldn't be surprised if he just takes Shivan Fire and tries to just shore up his removal suite.
Yeah, and he is.
Yeah, I like that pick. Llanowar Elves is good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think Llanowar Elves is quite as good as most people seem to place it.
It feels like it's pretty good in the red-green kicker deck, like the kind of deck where you're looking for just a ton of mana. Whoa, fight with fire to the front.
Oh,
Alex is getting hooked up.
Yeah, and his mana is getting a little tough. He's going to be taking growth from the ashes over anything, basically.
Yeah.
But you still take fight with fire.
But his
here.
removal is amazing.
It's a great splash card, and on 9 mana, you can find your second mountain. Wow, Alex has got the power level of his deck is gone through the roof. He's not playing that Bolus's Clutches. There's just
a
no way.
Shivan Fire in this pack too.
Yeah, so Alex is now having a really removal-heavy black-red-green deck. Like, at this point, he might actually kind of shift into having more red cards, though. I think even with the Fight with Fire, I do kind of like Sapherd because you do want to defend yourself. You don't want to have to use Shivan Fire on their, like, Benalish Honor Guard.
Right.
You'd much rather just play a Sapherd instead. Though,
Chronicler is really good in his deck, though. He has a lot of removal spells he'd love to buy.
Yeah, he's got 2
back.
Shivan Fires, Fight with Fire, and Cast Down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was an ambitious pick. I don't think
Chronicler.
Yeah,
it is hard to kick, I will say, because it's double red.
Yeah, I don't think Alex is setting up for the best mana situation with that pick. But if he can pick up a Grow from the Ashes, he'll be in really good shape.
Is there any consideration to just being red now? Because look, Fiery Intervention now.
It's really hard to abandon Demon Lord Belzenlock.
Yes.
And you're going to play Cast Down no matter what. So trying to focus on black green seems like it would keep things more consistent, but. Maybe Alex just changes direction here.
Yeah, we are running out of packs to find a Growth from Ashes, though.
Yeah, Alex only has like a couple more picks where it could even appear.
Yeah. Because there weren't any in the first couple packs. Not that we saw. Spore Swarm in there.
Wow, and a Sapling Migration.
Sap Migration.
And a Mammoth Spider, and a Soul Salvage, and a Thorn Elemental. Alex, these colors are open.
He's definitely in the right seat.
Yeah.
Like he's found his right colors.
It seems like just all of Jund is open.
Yeah.
Though he hasn't gotten any black in this pack, so maybe black ended up being cut from this direction.
Gosh, abandoning Demon Lord Belzenlock. He wouldn't take that well.
Definitely not. And I think that part of the way you build your deck too is like the late cards that fill in the rest of the slots. And when you get Keldon Raider in that pick instead of Caligo Skin Witch or Feral Abomination, you're just more likely to be red. You do need to put cards in your deck.
If someone was drafting red near Alex, this just went off the rails.
Yeah, I saw Justin Cohn is commenting about that in the chat, and it's definitely right. Alex didn't pass. Or passed a decent amount of red in pack 1.
Yeah, and then completely cut it.
Didn't see any red in pack 2.
Hooked them good.
And then now in pack 3, this person is just getting destroyed. They're going to get a 3rd pick Shivan Fire, or 4th pick Shivan Fire, where Alex took Fight with Fire, and they're going to think, okay, maybe it's open, and then it's just not.
He took a Keldon Raider. How high were you guys on that card?
It's not a great card, but it is playable.
Serviceable?
The better your deck is, the better the card gets.
Sure.
Because when you have cards like Fight with Fire or Verdant Force to go find, it gets a lot more powerful.
Pt2 Journey Mage is the pick for Alex.
Now Alex can take a Sparring Construct, which if he somehow ends up with Whisper and Sparring Construct, it could do a thing, but looks like he went with Llanowar Envoy.
Llanowar Envoy is bad splash. Sometimes you need that.
Yeah.
I think he just took another Power Stone Shard.
So the real question is, what is Alex's deck going to look like after building? Sometimes you have these drafts,
I
where
love that we actually get to watch the rest of this like the rest of this pod as we continue to watch the next couple of rounds, because I'm super curious to see how Alex's deck ended up. So if you're Alex, Luis, where do you think you go? Just you have a wealth of options, right? And your splash is not great.
I think that Alex is going to build red-green and maybe splash just cast down if he has enough cards. The problem is, without actually seeing what cards he has in front of him, I don't know what his card counts are.
Right.
But the pick of Gitu Chronicler over Yavimaya Saperd really signaled to me that Alex is just going to